Nacogdoches, Texas, the site for the L-Town showdown between Lufkin and Longview. Now, you might remember the Lobos won the first meeting earlier this season in week 1, 35-16. This was the second one, but this was for the right to go to the Final Four in Class 6A Division II. Let's go to the highlights. Another record crowd at Homer Bryce Stadium on the campus of Stephen F. Austin State University in Nacogdoches, similar to 2004 when they last met at this stadium in the postseason, won by Lufkin 31-21, who went on to win the state championship led by quarterback Reggie McNeil and their head coach John Outlaw. It was the Lobos of Longview who came out firing the football as Lobo quarterback Haynes King uses the play-action pass to find Adarius Carter open for a 39-yard touchdown pass play, capping off a 7-play, 76-yard drive, 7-0 Longview. Moments later, facing 3rd and 7 at the Lobos' 22-yard line, Javante Ritt makes a pick off this Kewan Thomas pass, halting the Panthers' drive. That would set up another Longview TD pass as Haynes King once again goes up top and finds Camden Perry for a 34-yard touchdown pass play connection. Haynes' father, Longview head coach John King, feeling proud of his son. The extra point was no good, and it was 13-0 Lobos behind their passing game.
Well, our running game's our strong suit, and we felt like we could hit some play-action passes, and we did, and lucky for us, we connected. But I told the coaches and kids, I said, it's not over. They're going to come back at us.
That's what we needed. We needed that momentum to start off the game. We needed the big plays, and that's what we got. We hit them.
Lufkin got back into the game quickly. The Panthers moved the ball well in the first quarter, but just didn't have any points to show for it. But how about this pass play as Malik Jackson shows you some serious yards after the catch. Wow, Malik looking more like Michael Jackson with those moves. Lufkin quarterback Kewan Thomas then goes up top for Titan Williams, who makes the grab and picks up 26 more yards on the play. That would lead to a 21-yard field goal by Rodrigo Molina to open the second quarter to cut Longview's lead to 13-3, and more importantly, the momentum was now beginning to switch to the Lufkin sideline. That's when Isaiah Phillips went to work for the Pack. Phillips had close to 1,700 yards rushing coming in and 23 TDs. Here he shows you some elusive running, picking up 44 yards rushing on this one play. Phillips was sensational for Lufkin, and his running ability would set up the next touchdown for the Panthers. Facing 3rd and 14, the Pack refused to stall in the red zone this time as quarterback Kewan Thomas tosses a 22-yard pass to Jalen Polk, who hauls in the TD, capping off a 7-play, 81-yard drive. The extra point cut the Lobos' lead to 13-10 at the intermission. The third quarter did not start the way Longview wanted as Lufkin put the pressure on King, who tried to toss the ball against the wind, and Savon Fields was there for the interception. Fields was thinking pick 6 when he made the catch, but came up short as he was pushed out of bounds at the 2-yard line. That would set up an Isaiah Phillips touchdown, and Lufkin had their first lead of the game, 19-13, early in the third quarter. You often hear coaches talk about the importance of special teams and turnovers in the postseason, and Savon Fields of Lufkin fielded this punt on his own 20, but he's hit immediately, coughing up the football, and Rashandrick Harmon of Longview was there to pick it up. The Lobos were in good shape on the 16-yard line of Lufkin. Facing 2nd and 2 at the Pack 9-yard line, Jesse Anderson uses some power to bust his way to the goal line, but he stopped just a yard short. Haynes King calls his own number on the quarterback sneak, and Longview was back on top 20-19. The Lobos were on the move again, running the football quite well behind the power and speed of Jesse Anderson and Keelan Williams, but under some pressure, King tosses this pass for Adarius Carter, who doesn't come back to the football, and Darren Woodson is there for a spectacular pick for the Pack. Yes, Darren Woodson looking like the former Dallas Cowboy DB Darren Woodson on that play. That would set up an 11-play, 92-yard drive by Lufkin, primarily behind the arm of Kewan Thomas and the receiving ability of Malik Jackson and Jalen Polk, who made an exceptional diving catch here. The Pack were in business when Isaiah Phillips once again proved his worth with an incredible play for a 31-yard touchdown run to the sideline, and Lufkin was back on top, 24-20, early in the fourth quarter. But just when you thought Lufkin was in business, special teams would come back to haunt them again, this time on the ensuing kickoff, as Jaquan Edwards shows you some speed and ability, racing close to 60 yards, but this particular drive would stall. However, the Lobos defense would force a punt, and that's when Zephaniah Lister lays out for a beautiful block of Max Quick's punt. Yes, the coach's son, who made a spectacular punt the week before against Spring Westfield to help preserve the victory in that game, but this time it's Longview recording the block, and that would set up one of the best runs of the day as Killian Williams scores from 22 yards out by just getting the football inside the pylon at the goal line. The extra point was no good, so Longview led 26-24 with 7:46 remaining in the fourth quarter. Lufkin would answer, though, behind the legs and the arm of their quarterback, Kewan Thomas. When it came to scoring a touchdown, though, it was Isaiah Phillips once again as he scampers into the end zone from 7 yards out for the touchdown. The two-point conversion try was good, so Lufkin led 32-26. The Lobos had one last chance. Longview marched down the field, and the coach's son, Haynes King, would get some redemption after throwing 2 interceptions by connecting with Camden Perry, who did a nice job of going up high and making the catch. The extra point was good, and Longview led 33-32.
Well, it was nice catch by Camden. You know, it was a ball he threw. It was 50-50. We felt like we could get a play action pass, and we hit one, and Camden made a great catch.
So Lufkin had one last chance, but following a big sack, Thomas's pass was intercepted by Zephaniah Lister, and that's your ball game. The Lobos of Longview defeat the Panthers of Lufkin 33-32.
Either way it goes, both teams played their hearts out. We had to win the game. We had to do what we do to keep going. We provided sacks, we provided coverage, we provided everything. We had the pressure on the quarterback so he didn't get nervous. Let him chunk it. Let him do what he do.
Back and forth, but that's a very good team over there, and we have to respect them. That's what we did, and they gave us a good fight.
As it was, we had to just keep our mind focused and not on the past when we beat them, because they came out, they was a better team than the first time.
Longview, your Region 2 champions of Class 6A Division 2.
Once again, your final score 33-32. The Longview Lobos advance with their win over their rivals from Lufkin. A big victory here in the 81st meeting between these two teams, and it's the Lobos and John King moving on to the state Final Four. For Lone Star Gridiron here in Nacogdoches, I'm Jeff Power.
LoneStarGridiron.com. Access the complete history of Texas high school football, over 100 years of information, win-loss records, coaching histories, individual stats, records, and more. Lone Star Gridiron, the authority on Texas high school football.